Hey everybody, Stoner Broad's back again with more stuff. I know most of you know this stuff, but I'm going to do something a little bit different today. We're doing two things actually, because we're going to have a sesh, and I've got my vaporizer here all heated up. And there's my stem, we're going to get you rock and rolling. And we're just waiting for that to come back up to temperature. You do want to give it a minute to come back up to temperature after you put your stem in. But now we're up, and cheers everybody! Well, that's why you let it heat up a little bit, because you're not going to get big clouds unless you're running this at temperature. But while that's happening, we're also going to start up the Releaf app. I don't know how well this is going to show. And we're going to start a new session. And it asks, what is our primary symptom today? And I think right now, joint pain is probably what we're going for. And I've already used it, so I've put in a couple of strains already. This is the CBD Metahaze, so once you've inserted it, you can just pick it. It asks you what you're using, how you're imbibing, shall we say. We'll just click for vape. And now it asks me, what level is my pain at? And there's a little slider here, and it uses the standard 1 to 10 pain scale. And I'm putting it at a 6 right now, because I'm not horrific, but I'm having a little trouble moving. And we just hit the little button when we take a hit. And just leave it sitting over here while we take our session. And just remember to hit it while we work today. Here's a better cloud for you. Doesn't show up. Vaporizers don't show up well on camera. It's just part of the thing. But what we're actually doing here today is, as a side of using a dried flower vaporizer, as opposed to an e-liquid vaporizer or something that takes concentrates, is you end up with a lot of this. This is what's called ABV, usually. Sometimes people call it AVB instead. What that stands for is Already Vaped Bud, or Already Been Vaped, ABV material. So you end up with a lot of this, and there's usually, if you don't vape it to the point where it's already black, which some people do, I don't like to do it because the flavor gets really bad at that point. But then if we just throw this away, we're throwing away medicine. We don't want to do that. Medicine is not cheap, and we should not waste it. We should not waste it even if it is cheap, because medicine is important to us as human beings. But, you know, hey. So what we're going to do with this ABV is we're going to turn it into edibles. Yay, edibles! Everybody loves edibles. I do some awesome cookies. They got some good views on my Twitter account. You can find me as stoner.broad on Twitter. And but what we have to do with this first is, because this stuff tastes really, really bad, right? If you've ever been desperate enough to try putting ABV in a pipe, you know what I mean. And it doesn't just taste bad to smoke. It tastes bad when you eat it. Although you can just eat this straight, and yet you will get high from it, because it's already been through the vaporizer. It's already been decarboxylated. Now what decarboxylation is that the primary, in green weed, the primary compound is what they call THCA. THCA doesn't get you high, and it doesn't have the effects that THC delta does, which is why you see shops and things named Delta 9, because it's for delta THC, which is the stuff that does get you high. But when you heat it up slowly and carefully, all of that THCA turns into THC proper delta. And that's what we want. We want that medication. My medication is also usually very high in CBD, so we'll be getting CBD out of this as well. But as I said, it tastes horrible. Nobody wants this shit in your mouth. But it does work as a kind of good backup system, because if you run low, there goes my session meter. I also like to take a good couple last hits off it when the session meter goes off, so it's not wasting anything. And we're just going to lower our pain threshold because it's got a little slider on there. Because it's helping me already. Let me just set that aside and move on. So yeah, it tastes really awful. But if you are like me, living in disability, on a disability pension, and you have limited amounts of funds for your medication, this is a good way of stretching it so that you're not wasting anything. And you're getting all the bang for your buck that you're not getting by combusting. So, what we're going to do with this, though, is this is good old-fashioned nylon stocking. So we're just going to take, I have this at 2 layers, and it's a fairly high-quality nylon stocking that I had in the house, and I just never used them. So we're going to just take our ABV, which I have collected in this jar. This jar, by the way, is one of my jars that come from our good friends at Tweed. It's relatively smell-proof. It's pretty clear. They're great to keep and use over and over again. So we're putting all of our bud, our ABV bud, into the nylon. Pretty standard. Just put a knot around it, like you're making coffee or tea or something. Just do yourself a favor and don't pull the knot very, very tight, because we are going to have to get this knot undone after a week or so. So now that we've got our sachet of weed, we just need a standard jar. That's it. This is what the process is called, water curing. Sounds really complicated, doesn't it? It's not. All we do is put the ABV in a nylon, in a jar, and we pour in good old-fashioned H2O, our favorite solvent. And as you can see, I just poured it in right on top. And I've used this jar before, so I know pretty much how much water is going to go in it. And it floats right to the top. And we're going to put the lid on. Now what we're going to do with this is we are going to actually ignore it for about a week. We'll put it in the cabinet. Put it somewhere cool and dark. You don't want it to cook. Cooking at this point is bad. It will just wreck things. So you put it in a cupboard where your plates are or something, and just give it a good shake every day. Now you see already the color of that water. See how yellow it's gotten? That is all the burned carbon and the chlorophyll that is coming out of that ABV material. So basically the thing about this is cannabis, weed, THC and CBD, cannabinoids, are fat soluble, not water soluble. What that means to you and me is that you can do this without losing your medicine. What this will do, though, is it washes out all the terpenes. Now, you've heard the word terpenes before, I think. If not, it's the things that, they're the compounds that give weed different flavors. So what this does is it washes out all of the taste. So sometimes you want to taste your weed. Weed is a very pleasant tasting thing to a lot of people. But it's this ABV, because it's already been through the vaporizer, is not going to taste nice. So we're just washing all of that out. And just leave that around for a week or so. Change the water every day and shake it up every day. You can do this, stick it under your bed, whatever, if you're at home. And change the water every day until this water, when you change it, and after 24 hours, it's clear. When it's clear, you're ready to turn that into canna butter. And that we'll do in a separate video. Or, Yeah, we'll definitely do that in a separate video. We're not going to do that now. We're not going to do that today. We ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So anyway, that is part 1 on ABV handling. If you don't have the time for this, and if you're short, you can actually consume your ABV straight. It's highly recommended that you, if you're going to try that, to start with a very small dose. Mix it with peanut butter. Everybody says the same thing, and I've tried it myself. If you mix it with crunchy peanut butter, you don't notice it. You just make a crunchy peanut butter sandwich and spread some ABV on there, and you will have your results. Just always keep in mind that when you consume cannabis orally, instead of by smoking or inhaling it, the results will take longer to come on. Usually they say it takes at least an hour. And they will last longer. Depending on your personal system, it can last, an edible high can last anywhere between 5 to 12 hours, I'll say. I've never, with me it usually lasts about 5 or 6 hours, and when I wake up in the morning I'm done, but some people, still wake up high. It happens. Whether those stories are true or not, I will leave it up to you to decide. But for now, we're ready to go. And make another video in the near future when I turn this into canna butter. And hopefully there will be a third video after that, if all goes well, when I turn this into my famous magical peanut butter cookies. In the meantime, we'll just take a quick look again here at what's going on in Releaf, which, as you can see, has been going here. And it's going over here to this little section that says Feels. Can you see the little section that says Feels?
I gotta get it on an angle. There's mind, body.
Well, it's okay as long as you're getting it there. And it's got little buttons over here, and you just pick on them which one you are. Like, right now, I've had my session, and I'm feeling undermined. Peaceful. Peaceful is good right now. Maybe a little focused. As far as my body goes, I'm feeling relaxed and comfy. My mood, kind of on the energetic side. Optimistic. And we have other, which tends to be unhappy. Well, what most of us think of as bad side effects, like anxiety, dizziness, dry mouth, visuals, or red eyes. Okay, so that was my session for today. And we're down to about a 3, which is probably where I'm going to stay today, because we've got thunderstorm clouds rolling through again. This crazy, extra long rainy season in Ontario is killing me. So we just hit end session. End and save. Rate how this session helped your joint pain. It didn't help all that much because I wasn't really in that much pain to begin with. What this neglects to use is, and I have to talk to the Relief guys about this, is it has to allow for CBD users who take it prophylactically. So we're going to talk to you guys about that on Twitter probably. Or hit me up here if you've got anything else you think that would work great in this. Leave me a comment. I want to know. We'll talk to we'll talk to Relief, and we'll turn this into the app that you need to use as a medical user. But here, now that I've clicked it, it shows why I was using it, what I used, how I used it, how many hits I took, and as you can see this graph, which is the pain slider. And then it tracks the moods and notes, and say, I'm all done. And what you can do is look back at your sessions, and it keeps a record, so you'll get an idea of exactly what and how well your medication is working. So it is like a strain journal, but it's a strain journal plus because it's targeted directly at us medical users. So Apparently when I get to a certain level, I will unlock more feels, so we have to wait for more feels to unlock. But overall, for people who are especially using for short-term conditions, like when I'm having a depressive moment and I'm thinking of trying to stop it by using something with a lot of euphorics, or if you have anxiety issues and you're taking something to chill you out, I guess it's myrcene you take for anxiety. I'm trying to remember now. I'm not so good at that because it's not one of my symptoms. But, or immediate pain. This will be great. What it doesn't allow for is people who like me use CBD as a prophylactic, as a therapeutic medication. So I'm taking CBD I'm smoking, well, not smoking necessarily, vaping, but I am intaking CBD every single day without fail, whether or not my symptoms are critical. So that's something that needs to be thought about, is how to bring that into this, so that I can make allowances for that. Yeah, I'm just taking my daily dose now. So we're gonna hit Releaf up about that, and hopefully we'll be able to get more strains listed in here by more people using, and we'll be able to get some real data saved. So I guess that's enough for today. I don't know how long we've gone, but I'm gonna let you go now. And I'm just going to stick this in the cupboard, and hopefully in a week we will be able to start making our can of butter. In the meantime, peace out, insert your catchphrase here, and you have a great day.